Hello, friends. All right, today I am so excited for this topic. For those of you that know my family and us, we love to go hiking. We love to spend time on the mountain. We spend quite a bit of the month of July on the mountain usually and hike in places that most people don't hike. And we just have a lot of fun together. And I wanted to talk about how building a business compares to climbing a mountain. And so I just want to say, let's pretend that there is this mountain that you want to climb, but you're scared of heights. And this was actually one of my past coaches, Jillian Murphy's metaphors that she used, kind of an analogy that she had used back when she visited Arizona. And it just really rang so true with me that I wanted to share it again. But you have this mountain that you want to climb, but maybe you're scared of heights, or maybe you're scared of what you might run into. That's my issue. I'm like scared I'm going to run into some wild animal or some stranger. Like, I know it's pathetic, but um and we start hiking the mountain and we don't get very far that day. So then we like go back to the truck, go back to camp, and then the next day we come back and we hike a little bit further. We get a little braver, we get a little smarter. We start thinking of different things that we could do to get just a little bit further. And I want to compare this to your business because a lot of times we try to climb that mountain and we don't make it to the top on day one. And so we are like, well, we're going to go try somewhere else. Well, that really defeats the whole purpose now, doesn't it? So if you go try somewhere else, are you ever going to get to the top of the mountain that you're trying to climb? No. So the whole thing here is that when you keep going back to that same mountain, take a different approach, you have a different mindset, you now have a strategy in place, you now have a system in place. You now have like your thoughts in order of like how you're going to do this, right? You're going to make it a little further. But let's just say you make it a little further and then you like freak out again and like run back to the truck and we're going back to camp. Well, we're not going to crawl into bed and be like, I am not going back to that again, right? I mean, if you're anything like me, I am determined as hell. Like, I am going to make it. And so then we turn around again the next morning, we go back out, load up the dogs, and we start to climb. And eventually, when you continue to keep trying to climb the same mountain with a different strategy, maybe a different approach, just we're changing baby steps here. Like we're changing little minute things that we're doing. We're shifting our mindset around it. We're thinking, oh, well, I ran into that tree. I don't want to run into that one again. So I'm going to try to go right or left instead of like where I went last time. Do you get what I'm saying here? Like, I feel like I'm really trying to make this analogy go deeper, but like it is so simple. And this is how we need to approach our businesses. Because for me, do you want to know what I did? In 2021, I launched Mom Biz Mastery. I got 3 people to sign up. We had a beautiful 6 weeks together and moved on, and I deemed it a failure. So I never launched it again until I hired my coach in 2023, February of 2023. For those of you who have been following along, whoa, I feel my energy is like shifting. That wanted to be a yawn. For those of you who had been following along on my journey, 2022 was a rough year. That was the year that my dad died. That was the year that I had joined a pretty large investment mastermind that was terrible. The coach really showed me like the shady dark side of coaching and I didn't like it. And I went on this whole healing journey and I found breath work right before my dad passed away in October. And I did a 6-month trauma-informed certification program. It was beautiful. I healed so freaking much. And then going through that, I remember in January, they have something, it's called the Force. And that is where we spend hours, like 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, learning how to facilitate, practicing on each other, doing breath work for ourselves so that we can stay connected to ourselves and clear out any energy that we pick up from others. And in one of the calls that we had, they asked us to reflect back on our journey. So the first 3 months of the Pause Breathwork certification program is working on yourself. And then you do the Force week. And that is when we shift from being the student to being the facilitator. But during that week, they had us reflect back on the previous 3 months and where we are now from where we began. I didn't even recognize myself. My mind was blown at how big of a shift I was able to make in just 3 months. And what I have come to realize, you can do all the mindset work in the world that you want to do. But if you don't release the stored energy in your body, the stories that are being held within your body, and get your body on board and backing up your business so that you can build your belief to climb that mountain, you're never going to make it. You will not make it. This is why in my Mom Biz Mastery program, I use breathwork infused rhythms. I incorporate the somatic, I incorporate the mindset, I incorporate the strategy. Those 3 things are key to get where you want to go, because if you never get your body on board, you're going to keep creating the exact same patterns in your life. You're going to keep making the same amount of money. You're going to keep finding yourself in the exact same circumstance that you've been in. You're not going to move forward. But when you are braving that mountain, it is not about burning it down when it doesn't work the first time. And that is what I did in 2021. I thought I had failed. I only got 3 people in. I was done. And in 2023, I got through my breathwork certification, and almost toward the end, so this was February, this program ended in April, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to start pulling in some strategy into my business. And that is when I hired a coach. But I already knew exactly where I was going. And Mom Biz Mastery came back to life. And there is one regret that I had over the course of that year and a half. I didn't keep trying to climb that mountain. I gave up on it because I thought I had failed. And when I hired Jessica to be my one-to-one coach in 2023, I said, I look back on that and I wonder, what if I would have kept going? What if I would have had 6 more master classes under my belt, or challenges, and just allowed myself to have fun with it and not attach myself to the outcome? I just allowed myself to enjoy the journey. Where would I be right now had I not shut it down? And I don't want that for you. I want to help you create a plan. I want to help you climb that mountain. That is why this podcast is called Braving the Mountain, is because I want to help you as a mom brave your mountain with a simple business plan. We do not have a lot of time. And if you are in business and you are feeling like you are spending a shit ton of time trying to stay on top of everything and try to stay on top of your business, and it just you just never seem to have enough time to get it all done, come join Mom Biz Mastery. It's actually opening up this month. Get on the wait list. I'll drop it in the show notes. But it is an amazing, amazing coaching program where you have the support so that your journey on this entrepreneurship trail isn't as lonely. I help you drop a lot of that mom guilt we feel around our businesses. And a lot of that comes from, we spend time doing things that we think we should, but we're actually wasting time. And so our to-do list is like a mile long, and it doesn't need to be. And I help you create the simplest, business plan ever so that you can show up consistently and create what you want to create. And you're going to get mindset shifts. We work on mindset in there. We do it through breath work and reframing our limiting beliefs, finding thoughts that aren't serving us. There is a lot of vision casting and being able to visualize. So, if any of you have ever meditated before or done any sort of visualization where you like close your eyes and picture the highest version of you, what are you doing? What do you look like? All of that. I actually incorporate a lot of that into my breath work. And then we put breathwork infused rhythms into place that you do each morning. These are less than 10 minutes. You infuse it into your day, and you are going to have some wild, wild shifts within yourself, belief within yourself. You are going to see how your success is absolutely inevitable. But you have to keep climbing the mountain. You can't give up and try to climb the next one, because then you're going to be starting over. You're only going to get a quarter of the way up the trail when you're 3/4 of the way up the trail on the mountain that you just started climbing. It's time to stop switching back and forth. It's time to go for it and make it happen for you. And so, building your business is exactly like braving a mountain. Why do I feel like I said braving your business? I might have, I may not have, but building your business is just like climbing a mountain. It is like braving that mountain. So if you want the support, you're ready to drop the guilt, you want a simple plan that you can do even during nap time, you don't need a ton of time to do the things that need to be done that are actually going to make you money in your business. If you've been to any of my master classes, I teach on that. 3 simple steps, that's it. But how accountable are you holding yourself to those steps? That's what we need to find out why. That's what we need to pick apart in your thoughts. That's what we need to breathe through during breath work so that you can find the root cause of why you are holding yourself back so that you can then move forward and step into that new version of you that you desire to be. Okay. Get on the wait list for Mom Biz Mastery. It's an amazing group coaching program, and I will talk to you next time.